Good evening.
That's way too fast.
Why are you chewing? It's way too fast.
I forgot how quick that is.
Sit through a long intro. They're excited. People are excited to be here to talk movies and entertainment with you, Dan, and me.
I know.
This is what they've been waiting for all day. A culmination of a Monday. It's training day, don't you know?
It's training day.
It is training day. It is the Cinemaniacs. Phenomena. This is Cinemaniacs. We talk about movies. We encourage you sitting there in front of your TV or your computer or your phone or whatever to join us at EriDanLive.com. It'll bring you onto the show, or you can just hang out in the chat. You can make some comments.
Yes.
And you can share with us your thoughts. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the movie Training Day.
Yes.
There's going to be so many expletives in tonight's show.
Yes. My mom watched the trailer, thought it might be too violent. She decided not to watch the movie.
I don't blame her. That might have been the right choice.
Adam, I know, was traveling. I don't know if he's in the comments tonight. He was at the 211 F-bombs. Dave counted.
All right. That's how many we're going to have tonight.
Wow. Well, boop that.
That's right.
Adam was at the comedy show here on the island. Then he was traveling to Kansas, so I'm not sure if he'll be on tonight. Scott was also here, but I don't know if he'll be on. But we do have people here.
I would think that this movie would be a priority for those two gentlemen in particular.
Yes, and I'm bailing early because I have a board meeting with the local theater. So
How early are you? When is your out?
Probably 5:30.
5:30. Okay, and
Adam's
here. All right. Well, we got to at least bring in Dave. Dave chose this movie.
Yeah,
he did.
We're bringing the whole family.
Yeah, Dave loves the F-bombs. You go to his house.
Amanda used to grow up around my foul mouth, so she knows what it's like.
This was just like being at home, wasn't it, Amanda?
So nostalgic, yeah.
A lot of guns, a lot of F-bombs,
a lot of drugs. The drugs that are just laying everywhere. It's so unbelievable. So, Dave, why?
Well, two obvious reasons. One is I really think it's a good movie. Obviously, I wouldn't have picked it otherwise. And the other is, after picking things like the Muppets and Miss Pettigrew Lives for a Day, I wanted to change it up a bit.
We have had a pretty PG-13 2025 up to this point.
Yes.
So you have definitely thrown us into the harder R section.
The last R I see on the chart was The Holdovers, which is a very different R from this one.
Actually, Violent Night isn't listed there, but I believe Violent Night might have been an R movie as well.
Adam says this movie is top tier.
I love the performances in this movie. I really do. It's interesting because really when I watch it, the direction is good, no question. But the direction doesn't impress me that much. The direction doesn't stand out, I guess is a good way to put it. What stands out is the writing and the performances.
Yeah.
It's a very French movie.
It is. It really feels like like The Professional or one of those type of movies. Luc Besson or someone like that. It just has that really feel to it. And Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke, man, they just when they are on the screen, and at least one or the other of them is on the screen almost the entire film. It is just, man, I just love their performances.
Denzel did say this is his favorite character he's ever played.
Well
good. And he originally wasn't going to, after reading the script, he wasn't going to take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his son convinced him to.
Wow. It sounds like every time we say that, it's like, well, they were originally considering Tom Hanks.
Well, they were.
Yeah, that would have been a good.
Henry Winkler would have been a great along.
Always were considering Tom Hanks.
And the line, I mean, King Kong got shit on me. That was an ad lib. That was not in the script.
I did not know that.
Gotta
and
love that.
him rubbing the guns together was also just improvised.
Honestly, I would have paid to see Tom Hanks do this and then have Denzel Washington do like Mr. Rogers or something.
There you go.
It's like completely cast against type.
Well, Denzel absolutely can do, he did The Preacher's Wife.
That's right.
I love one of my favorite movies is Once Upon a Time in the West, and part of the reason it works so well is casting Henry Fonda against type.
Yeah, half your
If
movie
the
is just
actor's
going to
good
be
enough,
casting.
it's a great tactic.
Yeah. I think it's one of the reasons why there isn't an Oscar for casting, just because people know, like, wasn't for my casting director, this thing wouldn't work. Just need to do that more often and actually give the credit where it's due.
I mean, Denzel's gone a long way since Dr. Philip Chandler, the original TV's Chandler, when he was on Saint Elsewhere.
Oh, yeah, you see.
So they're going way back.
Now, while I will admit that I appreciated Denzel's performance, this movie was not for me. This movie did not give me warm and fuzzies.
To be fair, that would be weird.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's not that movie.
I'm trying to give you warm and fuzzies, I hope.
They took out the musical number. King Kong.
Ain't got shit on me. Ain't got shit on me. He's King Kong.
I mean, it's a very macho, testosterone-driven movie where all the women just sort of grind on the men. This is really there's really no great female performances in the movie.
Well, there's only 2 female performances of any note. One is his wife, who only appears in the first 5 minutes,
right?
And the other is Alonso's. Is Ava Mendes. Yeah. Alonso's.
And every other woman, it seems to be a hoochie. Like that.
Yeah, from the first scene, I will say I was definitely expecting his wife to die at some point in the movie. So, I'm glad that didn't happen. But also, she literally never was.
No, she was.
Again. He never called her. She never called. There was no oh, you're late coming. There was nothing.
Well, I did realize when he's rolling up at the end in his car and about to get out of the car, honey, I'm home. And she's going to look at him with all of the bruises and the blood. It's like, how was work today, honey?
I didn't want to film that scene. That wasn't going to land. That wasn't going to land the movie right.
Yeah, but it did feel like she existed solely for the purpose of letting him say, "Wait, I have a daughter," and kind of grounding him. But that felt very strange.
Yeah.
I wish either cut that or give her a bigger role.
Right.
Well, it was actually also going to come out that it was a scene they decided not to go with. There was a scene, I guess, where Alonso was planning in more detail of how he was going to die, and he was going to have him burned to death in front of his wife and child. Which also feels a little more out of character.
Now that would have maybe given me some warm fuzzies. No,
yeah, now I watch it.
Warm, I guess. Yeah.
Ooh, warm up on that. Yeah.
Special features like Strickland's death and Back to the Future 3.
But they also cast a ton of real gang members in the gang roles.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Speaking of actors that could have been in it, Tobey Maguire was being considered for the part of Jake Hoyt, Officer Jake Hoyt. He even followed undercover narcotics officers for 2 months, and he gained weight. And then Ethan Hawke grabbed the part because that's who he wanted in the first place to be in the movie.
He wasn't originally available. When he became available, yeah.
We can use Ethan Hawke. We can get Ethan Hawke now. Part of the ugly, sexy couple of Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman, both known as Ugly Sexy. You don't think they're ugly sexy?
I've never heard that. No.
No, what?
No.
Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman are considered ugly sexy.
Why?
Because they're not traditionally attractive people, but they're sexy people.
I think I've seen this scene in an Office episode.
Really?
You've never heard that before.
I just Googled them. They're both quite attractive.
They're quite attractive
people. I understand that. But Google their name with ugly sexy. I think there's a whole community about ugly sexy.
What other movie can you watch somebody about to be killed by Freddie Mercury?
Technically, whoever he infected in Bohemian Rhapsody.
Because that mustache of the one guy who was going to kill him in the bathtub, he really gave off a strong Freddie Mercury vibe there.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Adam said the bathroom scene with the gang, you could see the setup coming a mile away.
Yeah.
See, the first time I saw this, I did not see that coming.
Yeah, I don't think I will say I do think the plot did not go where I expected.
When he picked up the wallet, I'm like, we're gonna see that later.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, sure, but it was done early enough, and by the time it came, I wasn't just, oh, here comes the wallet.
I had forgotten about it.
Yeah. But they also pointed out, as violent as this movie is, only 2 people are actually killed in the whole movie.
Wow.
Roger and Alonzo.
Wow. You don't think of it that way.
That is interesting.
This has the same kill count as Cats.
And they
But
have
much-
9 lives, so that doesn't really count.
But a much better score than Adam gave Cats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I
Was that a now or a meow?
I think this is probably my 3rd time seeing this. And the first time, I won't say I was blown away by it, but it really caught me by surprise. It was not the movie I was expecting it to be. It went in unexpected enough directions that it surprised me. Apparently, at the original ending, Alonzo was supposed to get away with it, and Denzel insisted he be killed at the end.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
It's also very rare in that it's a movie that only had one writer who worked on it. He wrote the script. He did all the script revisions. Nobody else had any script credit at all.
Wow.
That's pretty unusual for Hollywood.
Like the
Very
old
unusual.
days.
Had anyone else seen this before?
You know,
This was
I'm
my
gonna
Second
go-
time seeing it.
Okay.
this
I
will be my last
believe-
time seeing.
You can tell that, Eric.
You don't pick the movies at the nursing home.
this is October of 01. So this came out like right after 9/11.
Wow.
And I remember going to the movies. I'm pretty sure as I was watching this, it was one of those, and I say this all the time where I'm watching, I go, I don't think I ever saw this, or I definitely saw this before. This is one where so many things were familiar, but I don't remember ever going to see this movie. But I think I
What was-
must have.
It was supposed to actually come out a few months later. And what happened was the Schwarzenegger movie that was slotted for October featured the World Trade Center.
Ah,
So they pushed that movie back to do some reshoots and some digital work on it and pulled this movie forward to fit that slot.
Got it.
They went down. The towers went down. Yes. That was a weird time in the world.
It was indeed.
Yes. Yes.
Remember the whole scene from Spider-Man 1 they had to take out? Really?
I don't remember that.
Oh,
Yeah.
so in the original teaser for quick tangent. In the original teaser for Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, there was a bank heist that happens with a helicopter, and you don't see Spider-Man because it's supposed to be a teaser. It's an actual reveal. But they actually he catches the helicopter. You just see a helicopter stuck in a giant web between
Oh,
the two
no.
towers.
Oh, wow.
I did hear about that. I never saw any of it, but I did hear.
Yeah. They took it out of all the teaser trailers. They took it out of the movie, which is why there's a really awkward montage in the middle right after he decides to become Spider-Man, because the big reveal of him becoming Spider-Man was supposed to be that bank heist scene.
Why don't
So actually, I misspoke. This was originally actually supposed to come out in September. It was pushed back, but it did take the slot that Schwarzenegger's Collateral Damage was supposed to have, because that's the one that featured the World Trade Center.
Gotcha.
But I liked, there were a couple of surprises. I did not expect when he goes back to Roger and kills him to get the money. Just the way they had set that up earlier with them being so obviously friendly and having almost a mentor relationship. He just, Alonzo is a guy who would do whatever he had to do to survive. And if that means betraying a friend, no problem. Off he goes.
Yeah, the plot very much did not go in the direction I expected it to. With some ways to his detriment, because I was expecting his wife to be relevant remotely. But for the most part, I was expecting it to be like a more I knew nothing about the movie going in, so I was expecting kind of a typical the rough and tumble cop teaching the new guy how to be cool with on the streets and stuff, and the fact that he was yeah, that's good, but I feel like it did subvert that effectively. I thought it kind of having Jake kind of stick to his principles throughout and kind of not change. I was not expecting as much, and I do think that worked well.
Going back to Sexy Ugly for a second. I pulled up. IMDb has a list of Sexy Ugly, and they're not on it. And I swear, maybe I'm having one of those weird
Is Billy Bob Thornton on it?
I'm only in the 60s right now. Let's see. But who do you think number one? Who do you think number one is for sexy, ugly celebrities?
No idea.
Adam Driver.
I can sort of see what they're saying. He's not, you know, he's not, Timothy Chalamet handsome. He's not. He has a different look to him that doesn't look like your typical movie star.
Yeah.
Javier Bardem is on here. John Barenthal, Paul Bettany, Kate Blanchett, Russell Brand, Adrian Brody, Jennifer Coolidge. Wow.
Jennifer Coolidge.
Daniel Craig.
This is an odd list.
Yeah.
This is a very
Benedict
odd
Cumberbatch. Wait, number 21 is Larry David.
And number 22 is Bernie Sanders.
What is happening?
Are you just like pulling up random celebrity names? Is
No,
that what we're getting? Okay.
Hold on.
I know he's the pinnacle
These
of
are people
sexiness,
that
but,
Dan
like,
finds sexy.
sexy. No, I get it with Larry David. It's fair, but
Pete Davidson, Benicio del Toro, Kat Dennings. I mean, this Billie Eilish,
This is mad.
Lady Gaga.
look, somebody on the internet made a weird list.
This is
Oh,
IMDb.
no.
And
This
Dan
is
took it
just-
seriously.
Yeah, I don't know what
This is IMDb.
this is.
Wow.
Jonesy
It's
one
created-
two
it's
three
created
four
a
five.
random user on IMDb.
Yeah, this is Jonesy 1 2 3 4 5. I don't know if you trust them. that
Actors and
much.
other celebrities who are unconventionally good looking.
7 years ago.
If we can't trust IMDb, who can we
We
trust?
You can't even say it right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And
Yeah, I don't. Okay.
Well, I think the best is that
Uh,
the Gyllenhaals are back to back. I saw them on
Okay.
here. Hold on.
Maggie Gyllenhaal is ugly, sexy. Jake Gyllenhaal, that makes no sense.
Yeah,
No.
Jake
Those
and
are
Maggie.
two-
list is
Those are two
Yeah,
very
look at those
attractive people.
hideous people. What is like? I don't know what this Jonesy person just had some weird grudges or something. Just like
well, or he was
I
trying to
get
get a lot
their-
of interaction.
I get that there are some people that have an odd look to them, but still have
Yeah.
like a charisma, but not the Gyllenhaals.
it's so weird.
Yeah, that's
I-
a bit much.
I'm so glad we're having this conversation on a podcast.
Oh, absolutely.
This isn't a
Yeah.
podcast, believe
It's
me.
absolutely perfect.
I
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah,
12 minutes to
yeah.
go, so I'm happy with my ugly sexy. Maybe we'll do a whole show about ugly sexy next time.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah,
Adam
just-
Driver is ugly.
Okay.
I'm not saying he's
I have-
sexy.
I don't even know what's going on.
Oh, Brian's here. I just
Dan is listing everybody he
Yay,
finds
the voice of
attractive.
reason.
Oh.
We've learned that Dan is
Like compiling a list of people he finds ugly, apparently.
no,
So,
it's
Dan
on.
Oh.
Oh my
Dan
god!
Did you say
found
filing
a
that
list of
on
people?
how long have you been logging in as Jonesy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Dan?
Wow.
He's trying to get some hits. He's just
Wow.
trying to get a couple of hits.
I'm gonna type in
So you
Ethan
finished the movie,
Hawke.
Brian?
Yeah,
I
Brian.
don't know if I watched the right one now.
Oh, we're this discussion has no relation to the movie. We so if this is confusing you, that's not part.
I just got done. I had to pause it a couple times, and there was commercial breaks and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it was on
Made it.
Tubi,
Made it. What
correct?
to do?
Yeah.
So what did
Tubi
you
with
think of it?
commercials.
That was intense.
Yeah,
That's what I
fair.
thought.
That's a
I had
good way
to
of putting it. It's
finish.
intense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely intense.
It's not my kind of movie. Like I wouldn't choose to watch it like
For fun.
for fun. Yeah, like that's
Wow.
not. But it was still kind of like, yeah, like I wouldn't say enjoyable. Like
What's the movie that we watched? With
I would
the,
recommend it to people who like these kind of movies, though.
What was the movie we watched with the drill sergeant father?
Oh.
Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The
don't
Great
know.
Santini.
Yes.
See, I don't like this movie for the same reason I didn't like that movie. Just this definition of macho and this definition of manliness, of intimidation and stupidity.
But the difference is, in the Great Santini, there was some ambiguity as far as whether he was a good guy or a bad guy. There's no ambiguity in this movie.
I think in the beginning it is a little like, is he just doing this to try to get him, you know?
Well, sure, but by the end, you know who the bad guy
Oh,
is.
in the beginning, you're right, absolutely right.
I
becomes-
figured, yeah, I figured like the whole time he was like setting this guy up for a fall.
Yeah.
That's just what I was thinking, and
I
I guess
did
that's what he
I did not see that coming.
No,
I was pleasantly surprised that he was a bad
surprised
guy.
when that happened.
Yeah.
They
didn't like
kept
it, so I was
reminding. I'm sorry.
You're good. Continue.
They kept reminding you that it was like one day. They always kept showing the sun. You know, it's like, yeah, like this is happening in one day. So like this guy is just setting him up for a fall.
I did
Yeah.
also like how much of the action happened in a car. It really felt a little claustrophobic and gave it an interesting feel when they were shooting and filming those scenes.
That was his office. No, I'm kidding.
Brings you closer to yeah. I get you.
With his trunk full of stuff stolen from the property department at the police department.
Oh my goodness.
I looked at. Did you guys talk about how like it's sort of based loosely off of a real cop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he actually, Denzel modeled his look after that real cop.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And
Denzel's
guess
not even black.
the I think they put real gangsters in the movie too. That was
Yeah, a lot of the,
I read that.
the gang members. That was sort of an arrangement. Is they let them actually film in some of the very dangerous gang neighborhood with protection, and in return they gave some of the gang members parts in the film.
Because gang members want to get their SAG card too, just like everyone else in LA.
Get enough hours and get their medical. Yeah.
But can we admit that Dr. Dre can't act? That Snoop was fine, but Dre was not in any way.
Yeah, Snoop was a surprise when he's only showed up.
Snoop was fun.
Snoop is always fun.
Yeah.
But Dre can't act. I'm sorry.
I'm starting to think he's not.
Producer. He's a fabulous rapper. He can't act his way out of a bag. That was terrible.
I'm starting to think he's not even a doctor.
Well, I've been seeing him about my back lately, so I don't know.
That might explain the drugs you're taking.
When Alonzo stuck the pen down his throat, though, and he threw up, he goes, "No, what's that? Crack."
Well, Snoop is amazing. There's no doubt.
Have you seen the one-season TV show that was based on
I
it?
saw that there was one. I've seen no episodes of it.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody did.
No, that's fair.
And it was 16 years later, too, which is
weird.
weird.
It was like 2015.
Oh my!
Wow, that is weird.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I was like wanting him to die at the end, and then they like I don't know. Am I allowed to say that? Can we talk about the ending?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Spoiler alert. There you go.
Yeah, spoiler alert. They like Godfathered him, you know, like they like that was just right out of The Godfather.
They did a Sonny Corleone on him, no question.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
I think he might have walked away from that. I'm saying I don't think that was a little ambiguity for me. I wasn't absolutely.
That was actually in an SCTV. They had when if you ever watched SCTV, Joe Flaherty played Guy Caballero, the head of the network, and there was a spoof they did of The Godfather, and it was exactly like that. They shot him for like 5 solid minutes, and he's just doing this the whole time, and then they show him in the hospital recovering.
Oh man.
Got to do a sequel.
I think you missed it, Brian. I had read that the original script had Alonzo getting away with it at the end, and Denzel insisted that he had to die.
Yeah, well, I mean, to make it like, like worth, I guess, at the end, like if he got away, like I think the guy did get away in real life. I think.
Well, I think
I was
he
reading.
may have been convicted, but he certainly lived through it.
No. I meant like he got off.
Oh, he
like,
did.
By naming names and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, although I feel like the fact that they had set up that like these Russians were after him and he didn't have the money, like if he survived, he probably wasn't gonna live that much longer unless he did get the money.
That's sort of the way I expected it to end. Was sort of the implication that
you
know, like have him driving off and you just see some cars following him or something, you know, that kind of thing. But no, they finished it off in style.
Yeah.
No ambiguity.
I think that would have been all right though if they did have like you see like the cars come up and then like you see his face like he knows and then they just end it that way. I think that would have been all right, but they did the whole Sonny Corleone thing. Yeah.
I did like Ethan Hawke going, the Monte Carlo with the bullet holes in the back.
Yeah.
And there are some great lines. I like nothing's free in this world, Jake. Not even arrest warrants.
It just made me mad that I was like, there are corrupt
Oh, absolutely.
cops like that, and like, oh, seriously though.
Remember, it was just this week. There was an entire police department that got shut down.
Oh yeah,
by the state because of rampant corruption. They just basically shut the entire department down.
Jeez.
We had
that's what the FBI is going to be pretty soon. Sorry.
Yeah, we had a couple of years ago. There was like a marijuana thing. Like it's legal in Maine, but like they were selling it illegally, and they got a bunch of cops for it. It was crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can't remember where it was. I read about it just today, a couple days ago, though, that they shut down. Yeah, I mean, in any profession, there's some level of corruption, some level of larceny. Just the human population has that percent in it that just is going to get away with anything they can. Apparently, also, the script originally had a little more backstory on Alonzo, that he sort of started out almost like Ethan Hawke's character, a bit idealistic, but it didn't take him long to just dive, headlong into it and take what he could get.
I was happy that the other guy was like, he stuck to his guns, like he was not changing.
Yeah, I think, as I said, I was definitely expecting it to be a story of him kind of like having to adapt to like the way things were.
Right.
And, like, so like, pleasantly surprised that that's how it worked.
Another line I love when he's just playing poker, and that's why I have it on my avatar there, was he's playing poker. How long you been a car? Pig. Yeah. I've been 19 months. Yeah. How do you like it? I should have been a fireman.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like in the notes too. It talks about the director told the actors playing the other people in the poker game to do certain things so that Ethan Hawke would be confused and shocked in real time. That really helps the scene. All right.
Yeah.
I have to bail in a couple minutes. Do you want to spin the wheel, or do you want to keep talking, or I can come back, or?
Well, I'm giving this a smile.
That.
Does it make you feel warm and fuzzy?
I'm not giving this a cry. I'm giving it a smile.
Okay, so smiles and cries.
I give it a thumb.
Eric's going to give it a thumbs down. That's okay.
Giving it a thumbs down. I'm sorry.
That's
It's close. It's really close, right? Like I am on the fence, but no.
I mean,
this is not always the kind of movie I like, but in almost any genre of movie, like I'm not a horror movie fan, but the very best horror movies I can really appreciate. And I feel that way about this. This is not a kind of movie that I typically watch, but I love this movie because it's so well done.
I was gonna say, I wouldn't recommend it to everyone, but like if you like this kind of movie, I definitely recommend it because it was intense. It did its job well. So
I'm not saying it's a bad movie per se.
No, I get it.
No, you just wouldn't. Yeah, no, totally fair. Yeah.
If you had a choice, you wouldn't have watched it.
That I do like some violent movies, so but there's just something about it that didn't work out for me. But that's okay. 85.7 is a totally very respectable score.
Same score as Fantastic Mr. Fox.
That's
very similar movie.
So all right, we are going to spin. This is for a double feature.
It is interesting, though. Ever since we started the thumbs up, thumbs down, there has never been a single unanimous choice.
That is,
we've never had a single all thumbs up or all.
Not had 100% at all. Maybe one of this double feature that comes up this week. I've removed myself and Dave from the double feature wheel.
I don't think we'll be there next Monday.
Shocking. All right, everybody just got their chances.
Increase my odds.
Look at this. You got a 1 in 4 chance.
Whoa.
To pick our wheel, our movie double feature. Now you do need to pick before we're done with our show tonight. So if you don't think you can do that,
if you think
now or forever hold your peace.
If you think you're going to take more than 5 to 10 minutes to make your choices, could be a problem.
I've got a choice. I've got one of the two choices.
All right, I'm going. Here we go. Who's it gonna be? It's gonna be Adam.
Oh, good. Double Adam.
Oh, woohoo! Celebration time. All right. Excellent.
So since we did a violent cop movie this week, Adam's going to pick a double feature rom-com for next week.
I would bet $100 that's not the case. All right, I do have to bail. I apologize. It's board meeting night. It's usually the third Monday. It was a President's Day last Monday, so they moved it to this Monday. That's all.
All right, Dan.
And a big shout out Scott. His sitcom that he directed was in another festival. We're going to the Los Angeles Comedy Film Festival as well. So we're in 3 festivals.
And happy birthday.
Thank you.
happy-
I appreciate
all right.
it.
Is today your birthday?
You should get
Yes.
the person that's in that sitcom to appear on the show sometime.
I know. Wait, today's your actual birthday?
No,
No.
you weren't here for the
Oh
running
my
joke.
gosh. That's been up for 2 months.
Oh, that's right. I remember when we missed your birthday because I was like, you're not on Facebook. That's why I didn't know it was your birthday.
That's right. So now I'm just gonna fish for every birthday.
Well, happy
compliment I
birthday,
can get.
Adam. I'll see you next time. Oh,
Adam.
What is
Yes.
happening?
How dare you?
Oh my god.
Adam's right there in
you,
the
sir.
comments.
Wow.
Is Adam sexy ugly?
Wow.
I don't know. I don't remember what he looks like without the beard. All right, goodbye. See you guys next time.
Say goodbye.
I'll be tuning in on my drive over, but bye.
All right, so we're going to talk really quickly about what else people have been watching while we wait for Adam to come up with his movie choices. All right, what else you been watching, or what you like to recommend? Whatever you'd like to talk about. Either way, if you have a recommendation, if you have something amazing that you'd like to share with the class, this is a time to share.
It's show and tell time.
It is show and tell time.
I will say we have been watching a show that I'm not sure I recommend,
Oh, no.
but I don't dislike it either. It's interesting. And if you like this kind of show, I'd probably recommend it to you, which is, it's a reality show. The Traitors.
The Traitors.
Yes, it's apparently a U.S. version of a UK show. The U.S. version stars Alan Cumming, excuse me, as you vote people off each week, but some number, it's like a social deduction game done as a TV reality show. Almost like The Mole used to be years ago or something like that, where a certain number of people in this whole group are the traitors, and every night they secretly murder someone.
Oh, shit.
And then at the end of the day, the whole group votes who they're going to banish. And they're trying to get out the traitors, but they have to try to figure out who the traitors are.
So it's just Mafia as a game show?
Exactly.
Okay.
It's a mafia.
Werewolf.
Yeah, Werewolf Mafia. I'd say, yeah. But like, as a game
The first season was a mix of celebrities and sort of regular Joes. This season is all celebrities or pseudo celebrities, mostly reality show celebrities, because as they said, they know how to be entertaining on TV, I think was the description of why.
Interesting.
Where is that airing?
It's on Bravo, I think.
It's on Peacock.
And it's on Peacock.
The first season, at least, was on Peacock. I guess.
Peacock, actually, they sent me a thing a couple weeks ago, a special limited time offer, $30 for a year.
Oh, geez.
Like, it's like less than $3 a month.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll do it.
Yeah. That's how they get you.
I know. But I immediately went in, because you have to register for the auto renewal. I immediately went in and turned that off.
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah, I was saying, it is weird not having access to your basic cable channel. Like, we're still adjusting to life that way. I'll get an over-the-air antenna eventually set up. But...
and also,
I haven't had
Alan
basic
Cumming, as the host of the show, is really over the top. I mean, the traitors, and he's really leaning into the accent and this flamboyance of it. And every time someone is murdered by the traitors, he takes their picture off the wall, says something kind of snarky about them, and throws their picture on the floor. It's really silly, but it's funny.
That's kind of awesome. I do like Alan Cumming.
Yeah.
I haven't really watched.
And we are almost done with our rewatch of.
Oh,
Wonderful.
very nice.
Wonderful. Oh, how's that been?
We have 2 episodes to go. I remembered a lot of the earlier episodes. I have not remembered the last few.
Oh, nice.
And it actually gets more intense as the season goes on. It's really interesting. Yeah.
I finished my rewatch of Elementary.
Oh,
Of all 7.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
I didn't dislike it, but I don't think I could binge it. Seeing it once a week was okay and somewhat good, but no.
it was a power through kind of thing. Like it's like there are some moments. It honestly would have been an amazing series had they done 12 episodes per season, right?
Yeah.
They really had solid content for half of every season. Right? But then it was clearly like, ooh, Sherlock has just befriended a mass murderer and doesn't know yet. And he's like, but now the mass murderer is going to leave for 8 episodes because Sherlock needs time to regroup.
Of course.
And I didn't like the way they handled Mycroft at all.
No, honestly, I thought they handled his father quite well.
I thought so too.
The father was good. I didn't like the way they dealt with Mycroft. I didn't like the way they dealt with
Moriarty.
The brother wasn't very. Yeah, the brother.
Mycroft is the brother. Moriarty is the
either one of those two. I didn't like the way they handled.
I agree.
And I think honestly they just couldn't get the actress back who they had played from Moriarty, which is why they never really closed that storyline throughout the entire season. So it's like it's good. I won't rewatch it again.
You're not rushing out to buy the Blu-ray.
No, it's a lot of episodes. Like a lot of episodes. I think it's 104. I forget how many episodes.
Too many.
I think probably because a lot of the episodes are very much one-offs where they don't connect anything. So you probably could skip half of every season and not miss a beat.
Yeah, someone should put together the critical watching list of Elementary.
So that might go better. But no, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was fun. It ended with a whimper. Adam has his movies. Our double feature for March 2025. All right, Adam, whenever you're ready, let's see what you got. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh,
we gotta get past the delay.
I know where is it?
That's a weird name for a movie.
So there are 153 episodes. 153 episodes of Elementary.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot.
He doesn't think we've seen these.
That would be the goal, yeah.
We will let you know. Of course,
we'll be the judge of that.
Whoa.
First one is on Max. How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh,
Good
nice.
choice.
That's a great
Not
one. Yeah.
watch that.
I will say, if you've seen the trailer for the live action one that's coming out, it strikes me as the most pointless remake I have ever seen.
Yeah, just because the dragons look more or less just like the dragons in the animated one was my recollection. And if the story is the same, I don't know what the point of making it live action is.
I love the first movie, but I don't know why they would need to remake it other than just greed.
Yeah, oh no.
Well, money
That's probably the reason that they're remaking
Yeah,
it.
they really think it's good. Maybe I'll be totally wrong. And it'll be amazing, but
Oh boy, here we go.
oh,
There it is.
All right.
the Bob Hoskins one.
No. Well, actually,
Yeah, is it the
wait, actually,
the
this
older
is
one
Mario
there?
Brothers.
Yeah, that's the Bob Hoskins movie.
Yeah, that is the Bob Hoskins one.
Oh my god.
It's been a while. I haven't seen that in a while.
If you're gonna watch
Monkey!
that movie, it's best to watch it in a double feature with a good.
No, actually,
Wait, the new one. No, that's the new one. The new one is called
the
the
new
Super
one
Mario
is
Bros.
called
movie.
Super Mario Brothers movie.
The old one is
Movie
called
that-
just Super Mario Bros.
Actually,
Okay.
So I think this is the
Okay.
new
Good.
one.
Thank you.
yes,
That was scary for a minute there.
I'm kind of disappointed, but that's okay.
I mean,
I got
one's
disappointed
streaming
too.
anywhere.
The other one in a long time.
Wow, 2
Adam-
animated movies from Adam.
That was
Adam
what,
just
2
wanted to
years
pick a
ago
movie
that
where a
came
superhero looks like him.
out? I know we have How to Train Your Dragon on disc.
No. Wow.
I don't know about Mario.
Well, you might have to go shopping. That's exciting. I have seen both of these.
As of
Ready to see them
I've
done.
seen the How to Train Your Dragon one.
Ah. Well, this sounds perfect. That sounds like a really good double feature. I'm excited.
So we have double shot of animation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look at that, even shorter movies. How about that? So for your double
I appreciate
feature
the
week,
Yeah,
consideration,
that's
Adam.
very nice. Yeah.
not Godfather 1 and 2.
Yeah, not The Irishman.
That might have been okay.
All I got was Braveheart. It's pretty long.
We're doing
We haven't seen.
Gone with the Wind and The Irishman. So yes.
We didn't watch Braveheart on here, did we?
I don't think
No.
so.
No, but I've never seen
No.
Brave,
Same, me neither.
It's all good.
but not this week.
No.
Because we need some more Mel Gibson in our lives.
Somebody does.
I prefer
This
if I
is-
was going to pick one of his, I'd prefer to pick like Mad Max or something like that.
Or Die Hard. Or no, still Die Hard. Lethal Weapon.
Which Die Hard?
Yeah, there you go. Lethal Weapon.
The
That'd be
first
fun
Lethal
too.
Weapon is a fun movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Choose all 4 Lethal Weapon movies for my double feature.
It's one of the few, because that was after Die Hard sort of reimagined the action movie genre. Lethal Weapon was one of the few that managed to get the balance of action and humor right. Too many of the others went too far one way or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
You
pretty
didn't
good.
48 hours? Are you saying bad things about another 48 hours?
Well, there was this Billy Crystal, Gregory Hines movie.
Running Scared is so magical.
And how your childhood memory is corrupted by reality.
Well, no, honestly, I do remember when we did talk about Running Scared that I did not enjoy it as much as I did when I was younger.
Oh.
Yeah.
It did not hold up. Back to Lethal Weapon.
The first movie with Pesci wasn't bad because he was sort of a little, he's a bit character. Then when they decided to make him like almost like a third star,
Yes,
it just got way too much.
that's probably how they got him to be in the fourth one or whatever. Like, all right, we'll give you third billing.
It's no My Cousin Vinny,
No. Anybody else see anything recently they want to recommend or suggest or talk about or?
Not
I
recommend.
recently made something. If you guys want to go watch it, I just started working with a new full-time client. His name is Michael McKelvey. He's a sports, physics, science YouTuber, and we just finished our first video. Got put up on YouTube this morning. It's about the S2 cognition test. It's the athletic test that every professional athlete has been taking for the last couple of years. It's replaced the Wonderlic because the Wonderlic has absolutely nothing to do with sports.
Yeah.
So this test is basically trying to figure out if you can actually measure athletic IQ and genius. We all know those kinds of players that can just see faster and think faster than everybody else. And this is actually trying to break that down and see how we can actually measure that. It's a really fun video to make. I spent a lot of time on it because it was my first one around with this guy. He's a super high quality person, but you'll definitely see who gave the cinematic edge to this video and the little references that we got in there. So yeah, go check it out. Michael McKelvey. It's called the title is I Took the New Athletic Cognition Test. Here's how it works. But it's Michael McKelvey. The intro is a lot like a very specific sci-fi movie. I think you guys will get it immediately.
Speaking of sci-fi movies, one thing, this is probably, Training Day might be my favorite Ethan Hawke movie. The only one that might compete with it is I do love Gattaca. And he is excellent in Gattaca. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend it.
I'm trying to think if I have. I need to see a picture, I think.
No, I saw it. Battlestar Gattaca. No, it's
I want to get Battlestar. I really do want to get that one. I haven't got it yet. On like the DVD.
We did finish watching season 2 of Shrinking.
Excellent. Finally.
Excellent.
It's really good, isn't it?
It holds up. They did a good job.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite the cliffhanger season 1 was, but it was a really satisfying ending.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And you saw the Screen Actors Guild Awards that Only Murders in the Building end up winning a SAG award last night.
Oh, nice.
And apparently several people who were at the SNL 50 have come down with COVID.
Oh, well, how about that?
Maya Rudolph, Marty Short.
Now that's a punchline.
There was a lot of hugging going on.
Yep.
But how much kissing?
Those are some older people that maybe shouldn't have been there.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the jokes. Who was it? Was it Mulaney made the joke or Steve Martin? One of them made the joke about, with all the respiratory illnesses going around, their answer is to crowd the oldest people around in as small a space as possible, or something.
Yeah, crazy. That's just nuts. Honestly, we haven't been watching anything. We've just been watching YouTube live streams. That's all that's going on in my house.
I've just been editing.
I called a lot of doctors. That's about it.
Well, there you go.
You get an appointment yet, or are you still trying?
I am waiting for the referral to go in, and maybe I can get one for March. Maybe.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
It would be awesome. I would be happy about it.
Well, good luck. Hope you get it.
Yeah, thank you.
Best of luck, sir.
We're trying to another run at a Goonies sequel. I did hear.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Goonies.
I heard that they might make a new. I don't
We
know.
need that. I feel like we're good.
I think so.
I don't know. I'm Goonied out. The one movie was plenty.
Well, if you want to see Space Goonies, you can always watch a certain show on Disney Plus. It's a Star Wars show.
I've heard good things about Acolyte. The Acolyte.
Space Goonies.
No, the other one.
Oh, the other one? Oh, the something crew. What's it called? I have
Yes.
no idea. The
Skeleton
Skeleton Crew.
Crew.
I've heard that's all right. Acolyte's supposed to be terrible. Skeleton Crew is supposed to be okay.
Yes.
That's it. That's what it is. I
The
can't.
Acolyte is a tax write-off.
I'm Star Wars out as well. I just can't. I have no. I just.
I am Marvel
keep-
and Star Wars down. The only Marvel thing I am at all looking forward to is the new Daredevil. I want to give that a try.
Do you guys remember how? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I keep wanting to watch The Mandalorian. Like that's on my list still, but I haven't done it.
You should do that.
There was a time.
Maybe.
Maybe that's what I hear. It's like a maybe. Yeah. So it's
I
like
watched the first season and went, wasn't great, wasn't bad, has promise. And I watched the second season and went, I'm done.
Which is why I
what
didn't.
were you gonna?
Sorry.
What were you gonna say, Scott?
Do you guys remember when, people always used to compare,
Uma Thurman with Ethan Hawke?
in that where now that we get so much fast food, so much stuff every single week from Marvel, Star Wars, etc., you're starting to feel kind of full and you don't want to eat it anymore. You got to get some more healthy stuff in your system.
Well, it used to be we were hungry for those movies, and now something has to be exceptional to make it interesting. The new Captain America movie. I have no interest in it.
Oh, I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm going.
I heard it wasn't good. Yeah.
It's not gonna be good, but I'm still going. It's gonna be better than not going.
Yeah, you didn't buy your tickets ahead of time and go on premiere day, and
Well, I wanted to go earlier, but I was trying to arrange to go with a friend. That's why I've waited this long.
she needed time to make a friend.
That I did. I had to make a friend first. But yeah, so
A DJ making a friend? Huh.
it could happen.
Like they did in Weird Science.
Name me one show that is about a DJ having a friend. Oh yeah, I directed it. Sorry.
Full House.
All right. Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
Do you ever hear the
Debatably a show.
Eric loves his sports talk. So, J.J. Watt and T.J. Watt are brothers. And then they have a brother, Derek, whose middle name also starts with a J. Do you know why he didn't go by DJ?
Why?
Because he didn't want to be thought of as people comparing him to the Full House. That was why.
Wow. I mean, maybe not a bad idea. Come on, DJ Tanner.
They named him Kimmy instead. No, I was.
That's right.
I actually have a question for you.
She was the friend.
Whenever you hear that Shakira song where she says, DJ, turn it up, 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 do you actually turn it up?
No. I don't think I've ever played that song.
Have you ever played the David Bowie song "I'm the DJ"?
Nope.
You know we're superstars. We are who we are. Whatever that song is.
I think the David Bowie song is just DJ, but whatever. The lyric is "I'm the DJ." Yeah.
Really? I
think it's Scary Monsters. No, it's from Lodger. It's from Lodger. Yeah.
You know, I'm disappointed that Eric didn't get double feature because I know he's been trying to put on Moulin Rouge for the longest time.
It's gonna happen.
I haven't seen Moulin Rouge in a long time too.
It's going to be like one of those glitter bombs that people use for Porsche thieves.
Moulin Rouge is one of those movies I've never seen, and I don't dread watching, but I have no real interest in watching.
It's not bad.
No,
it's not terrible. There's so much effort put into it, like so much thought from an editing perspective. Yeah. It's just so much.
I watched
Renee Zellweger doesn't seem like she was well cast, but maybe I'm mistaken.
She's great. I really like it, but I watched it recently and decided I would hold off on subjecting everybody here to.
You gotta be in the right mood. It doesn't feel right now. The last 2 months, I don't know.
Well, all right. Here's something I enjoy. Do I want to talk for 40 minutes to people who aren't going to enjoy this?
I enjoy Moulin Rouge though.
I enjoy the music from it. You know, I listen to the music all the time from it.
It's like going to a drag show. Like you're gonna get something out of it, but you're not gonna like all the numbers.
Well, speaking of it made me think of this, Eric, because there was a list recently of 10. And it was one of these places that always puts out lists, ugly, sexy people, things like that. But it was a list of
they came from.
It was a list of 10 comedies that are good beginning to end, meaning just from the moment you start watching it until it's over. It's like,
oh boy,
you just like the whole thing. And one of them was The Apartment.
Okay.
What surprised me was his number 2 pick. The Apartment was like 7th or 8th. Was Weird.
Oh, nice. That's a great pick. I don't know if it was number 2 of all time, but I mean, ultimately, the reason people put out lists is because it's a great way to get engagement. Because people are going to be like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you didn't put this
for discussion." Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So it's a great way to get engagement instantly.
And I enjoyed it. I mean, it's a fun movie.
Yeah. Oh, it's
especially if you have any interest in Weird Al.
Yeah, that is sort of a prerequisite.
Because if you know Weird Al enough, you realize how stupid parts of the movie are, and that's intentional.
But that's the joke.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, you have to be in on that part of the joke, otherwise, it's just all Weird Al's supposed to be touring again.
Wow. He did say he'd put out his last album.
Yeah, he's definitely not.
He was going to release new songs, but no new albums.
Yeah, and he's done a little of that, but there hasn't been much.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, he did a new polka a month or 2 ago, but outside of that, he did like a pop hits of the moment polka, where he admitted that he had to go and have somebody tell him what song should be on it.
That's amazing.
He is no longer as plugged in as he wants.
Yeah.
And that's probably why it's not putting out as much, because you have to parody things that are current enough that people are interested.
Yes. And
comedy is the fastest thing to age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if something's a real phenomenon, like if he had, when man, I hate when I have brain lock and I can't think of
You're talking about Gundam Style.
No, I was thinking of the Bruno Mars hit from several years back.
Gundam Style.
See, he could have done something to Uptown Funk because it was everywhere and you couldn't miss it. It has to be something like that.
Yes. Yeah. And those songs, and I honestly feel that we haven't had that level of a song for the last 4 or 5 years.
Well, no, because Billie Eilish was the phenomenon, and everyone has been in touch with their feelings for the last 4 years because of that.
Well, no, it's I think partly because media is so fragmented now.
Yeah.
You don't get that one monster hit as much. It's a rarity.
Well, and I think there's a large, with how accessible music is and the level of music that's accessible, the number of people who are just listening to either terrestrial radio or having any kind of radio experience that's telling them what's popular. is
Yeah, that's a good point.
it's become less, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
If I want to be at a
Absolutely.
and just listen to Rick Springfield all day long every day, I can do that, right? And it doesn't, and I'm just oblivious to what's happening. Well, I mean, look, a couple of weeks ago when I mentioned Sabrina Carpenter, and hardly anybody had even heard of her.
Oh,
I had.
Songs, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Well,
there.
the other thing too is that people are just listening to stuff that they feel like is going to be better for their mental health, and they want to be in control of that. So you don't want to just turn on the radio and listen to whatever song is on there, because you never know. You might be struggling, you'll suddenly hear Linkin Park. But if you type in something into YouTube where it's just like, I want 2 hours of Celtic violin music, chances are you're going to find it, and you're just going to become one with your culture.
I've done that. Just saying. Nice.
Yeah.
I like radio telling me what's cool.
Yeah. But long story short, we're not on a conveyor belt anymore. We actually get to pick where we want to eat.
Yeah. No, it's real.
Have you ever listened to the lyrics of Elvis Costello's Radio Radio? It was even worse in the UK, where the government controlled the airways. At least in the US, you had independent radio stations for the most part.
Yeah.
I was gonna just chime in as well. Like you also have the internet where it's programmed to show you things like the last thing that you just saw. It's like
Right.
it's just it's in the hard code of it now.
If you go onto Spotify and say play radio music I like, it's just going to give you more of what you traditionally listen to.
Yeah.
And you're in a different position, most of us, Eric. You have to stay current for your job.
Well, it's funny is I do because I enjoy it, but honestly, most of my couples bring to me, they say, well, here's what we think is cool, right?
Okay.
So as a wedding DJ, like my playlists vary so much where one week, like last week, I was able to play Kendrick Lamar, not like us, right? But, who knows at my next wedding, whether that'll fly or not, right? It's that we haven't had that hit where, like, look, I know you know this, I know your mother knows this, I know your grandmother knows this, and it's fun, upbeat, danceable songs. We had a string from like 2010 to 2016 where the radio was full of that, and like every song at a wedding you could go and you could play all these hits that were, it was J-Lo and it was Pitbull and it was Shut Up and Dance and it was Uptown Funk and it was TikTok by Kesha, and everybody knew these songs because they were massively popular and really easily danceable.
Yeah.
Right?
And you couldn't escape them. You heard them whether you wanted to.
Everywhere you went, you'd hear them. You'd be walking through your local Kmart and you could hear, all these songs coming through. And now it's like, now a lot of DJs are still playing those songs because that was the last time there were good dance hits available.
You know what it is too? It's also like just people who are working in retail. Like those are the people typically now who haven't given into like a remote job when they're like in their 20s and 30s. They're people who are still in their 40s, 50s, 60s working retail. And that is just the style of music that they know they want to listen to. And also that radio stations know people want to hear in those stores. So it's entirely generational.
Yeah.
Not only just the music, but just also when and what you're listening to.
Mm-hmm.
It's so interesting.
I didn't know Lady Gaga had a new song even. So.
Yeah.
Bruh.
She's wearing a unitard and dancing with a bunch of like-dressed
It's
people.
fine. But it's not gonna, as from a selfish wedding DJ standpoint, it's not gonna replace the hits that people already want, like Lady Gaga, right?
Yeah.
When people are like, "Oh, I want to hear Just Dance," or "I want to hear Bad Romance," or "I want to hear Poker Face," those songs are still like integrated as Lady Gaga songs. This one, it's fine.
Again, it's her getting in touch with her feelings and everybody else too.
Is it lack of major hit songs, or is it even lack of stars? Because the stars now, you don't, other than maybe your Taylor Swifts, your Olivia Rodrigo's, there's a few, but you don't have as many real breakout stars, except for in specific genres. You'll get genre stars who are big with a very specific audience, but not the big breakout.
I think it's totally because this is a period where you do not need to make an album anymore to be famous. You can drop your song on YouTube. You don't have to have 10 songs ready to go, and then boom. So the people who are actually going to succeed are also entrepreneurs who know that they could just simply do that and have the money and have the time and have the system to be able to do that. Beyonce, Taylor Swift, anybody like that who can just drop a single out of nowhere and be okay with it, but continue to have their $300 million cushion.
See, but those
control where
people
they
are the
perform.
people who are releasing albums, right? It's
Yeah.
more of the new people who are
Yeah.
like that can only afford to put out a song or two to see how it goes over, and then it might become popular within a niche, right? You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, there are big country hits. There are big hip hop hits.
exactly.
But there aren't the big breakaway cross, as Eric said, your mom knows and your grandmother knows kind of thing.
Like I have people who will freak out if I play Pink Pony Club at a wedding. But
And you know
somebody
something?
who's over 40 has no idea what's
Yeah.
happening, right?
And to your point, Eric, about Lady Gaga, like those songs that you mentioned, they sound very similar.
Oh,
I
yes,
think
they-
it's also that too. It's that artist who can make 10 songs that sound like they're exactly in the same mindset, the same pacing, the same beat, the same
Appeal to the same
tone.
audience.
Like Chappelle Rowan.
Well-
Like, that's what happened to her.
But you would say that was the era. I mean, those songs are all from the same album that I listed, right? So that was the sound and feel from that album.
Exactly.
So, but the question is, so like you get Bruno Mars with Uptown Funk, he's not had anything close to that since
No.
outside of this new song with
Yeah.
Rose, that is not, but it still doesn't hit the cross generational.
Well, there's something also to be said about those artists who also write for other artists, and he's definitely one of them. If you look at, the whole freaking Super Bowl, those songs that Kendrick wrote about Drake were things that he probably had written in the back of his head and was just waiting to drop. Like, he only releases stuff for himself, I think. And those are just, he has a pile of stuff that he can just pull from, like a pantry. Maybe Bruno Mars is just tired. Maybe he's
I think Bruno's just playing it smart at this point, right? Like at this point, he doesn't want to have a bunch of songs come out that don't go big, because then it's like, he's not as good as he used to be. So when he releases stuff, he's done, like in the past 3 years, he's only released stuff with other people, right? He released, he joined up with another guy named Anderson .Paak, and released things as Soul Sonic, and they had a couple of modest hits. And then he released a song with Lady Gaga, and now he's released a song with Rosie. That it's like, all right, but he's not come out with a full Bruno Mars album attempting to capture that magic.
This conversation is interestingly related to my what have I been watching over the past 2 weeks, as my dad is aware. A week and a half ago was the Sanremo Music Festival, which is an annual Italian music festival that's been going on since like 1951. And the broadcasting company that broadcasts it makes it region free during that week of Sanremo. So I spent Tuesday through Saturday of a week ago just spending 5 hours a day watching it, and then the past week downloading all of the VODs of it so that I can watch it in the future.
Oh, nice.
But it is interesting the level of prestige that Sanremo has, because it has been going on for so long. Like, the top Italian artists submit songs to be in Sanremo. This year there were 29 entries because one person dropped out last minute because of weird legal stuff. But they are always debuts of new songs. So the first time you will ever hear that song is live on the first day of Sanremo. And then they will perform them on this year, the first day they performed them, days 2 and 3, they half and half performed them. So we got to hear them all again on days 2 and 3. On day 4, they all get to pick someone to collab with and do a cover of a song, either an Italian song or an English language song or whatever they want. And then on the final day, everyone performs again, and people vote to pick the winner of Sanremo. But the level of, I was just Googling the viewership numbers, and it this year it was 13 million viewership for Sanremo, and Italy has a population of 60 million. So it's 20% of the country tunes in and watches this. And the level of fame you can get as a new artist premiering on Sanremo, even if you place terribly, you still get to perform every night of the show, and just kind of can rocket people to an
localization.
It's sort of like early American Idol used to be.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And mostly what I listen to these days is modern Italian pop music, so I'm very aware of modern Italian artists. So I find cool new artists every year at Sanremo and add them to my playlist.
You know what?
And it's really just like an
That's
interesting.
incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that really is. Maybe that's a solution, guys. We actually need to have like our own version of Eurovision, just US Vision.
Yeah, well,
And then
so
we-
actually, just
That's a
funny
movie
note
I've been
that,
meaning to watch, too, Europe.
Eurovision was inspired and modeled after Sanremo,
There you
because
go.
it was
Oh,
so
wow.
successful that they like, hey, let's just do that for all of Europe. And Sanremo is used as like as like the selector for Italy's like entry into Eurovision, but like it predates Eurovision, and like the winner of Sanremo this year chose not to go to Eurovision because he has a tour in May. So like the second place person got invited.
I'm sorry, but something modern and artistic still starting in Italy is hilarious in the terms of European artistic history. It started in Italy, then it came everywhere else.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, I've been meaning. One of the movies I've been meaning to watch. It's been on my Netflix playlist for several years now. Is Eurovision, which is the Will Ferrell, Rachel McAdams movie.
Yes.
Yeah, ding dong. Sorry,
Another
that'd be fun to
song
see.
I thought of, Eric, that fits what you were talking about, like because I had mentioned Uptown Funk. Another one is Pharrell Williams' "Happy," which for a while that song was everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah.
What was in the Minions?
I thought
right?
The one too,
it
yeah.
was in Despicable Me Too. Yeah.
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 So I mean that certainly helped catapult it, but
And
now it's like acid. If I play it, it's just people run from the dance floor.
Oh,
Play
wow.
the Weird
Because
Al
they got sick of
version.
it.
Huh?
Because they
Play
got
Weird
sick
Al
of it,
version.
or
They're totally sick of it.
okay.
It became so popular,
Overplayed.
overplayed,
Yeah.
that now unless somebody specifically requests it from the bride and groom, I don't play it.
Interesting.
It's too many times has that not landed properly. I'm not playing that on my own anymore. That's something that you never think about, but it's like, okay, I gotta be super careful. Because songs that used to be amazing and perfect now, and some songs only have like a shelf life of like a couple of weeks, right? Like you get something like Gangnam Style.
Yeah.
That came and went so quickly. I mean, it was huge when it was big. It was awesome, and then it was gone in a flash.
Oh my god, I still have that song in my head.
I
can
do
hear it on the horizon.
I do
with that
want
low
to
pass
see.
filter.
I just gained access to the to the Robbie Williams movie. Better.
Oh, have you ever watched Taylor Tomlinson's After Midnight?
Briefly. I've seen more clips than I've watched full episodes.
About 2 weeks ago, she did a show. Her entire opening monologue was about Better Man. Her talking about how nobody has gone to see this movie. You have to see this movie. This is one of the greatest movies ever made. I am going to make it my personal campaign to make everybody who is willing go see this movie. I'm going to take every one of my friends to go see this movie.
I saw the
I'm gonna take
preview of it. And this is a great example. You got Robbie Williams, super amazingly over the top popular throughout Europe. Nothing here in the United
Nothing here. Yep.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, he one modest hit when he was with the boy band Take That.
Well, and then after she had this big pitch for him, like a week later, she showed a clip. He had seen it and sent her a video thanking her for it.
Oh, shut up! That's awesome.
And she's been wearing Better Man T-shirts on some of the shows.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. That's amazing. So I'm excited to watch. I've seen the preview for it.
Yep.
It looks so weird, so
Yeah, she goes,
spectacular.
it makes no sense.
Yeah.
And yet she also she put up text from a bunch of her friends who went to see it reluctantly after she sort of twisted their arm. And she said every single one was positive. And she was so much like, you were right. I don't understand why, but he had to be a monkey.
That's so awesome. I'm so excited.
That's amazing.
But yeah, so that's on my future list. We'll see if I end up recommending that next week or not.
It's just such a bizarre concept.
It is.
And I applaud that because movies have become, from the major studios at least, have become so formula that anytime you get someone who just says, well, I could make a straight biopic. Or
I could do an Oppenheimer, or
Yeah, right?
Yep.
I could do Amelia Perez, which has about as much business as doing a musical as Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
We
from a
blew
movie
up the
that's been a while,
Japanese.
it's getting all of the positive buzz. There's been some weird backlash lately.
For Amelia
It also
Perez?
makes me think, because there was which movie is it? There's a movie that's up for award this year that there's been a lot of accusation of what they call category fraud, where
Amelia Perez.
It may have been Amelia Perez, because actually, ironically, Training Day, Ethan Hawke has more screen time than Denzel Washington.
Oh, interesting.
But Denzel was nominated for Best Lead Actor, and
Oh,
Ethan
my.
Hawke is Best Supporting Actor.
That is weird.
Oh.
But they've
Wow.
said, that's what they were saying, because there's been all these accusations this year, and other people are going, this happens every year. Haven't you been
Politics
paying-
aren't a thing in the Oscars.
Yeah.
I'm tired of people spreading that rumor like they call it fair and square. That is why Shakespeare in Love beat Saving Private Ryan. It was not because of a whisper campaign.
Don't go to Shakespeare in Love is the poster child for why did this movie win?
Because they had Judi Dench playing Queen Elizabeth.
And Denzel was a surprise win for Training Day because he was going against Russell Crowe in A Beautiful Mind, who had won almost every other award.
That's right.
I'm
I
totally
forgot
bringing
about
up
that.
Shakespeare in Love some week. You watch.
Uh,
I've never seen it.
And then
I haven't
David
either.
picked Shakespeare in Love, and we're all going to have to buy some Goop products to demo on the show.
I could talk about Shakespeare in Love for 10 minutes, but I know that it's 9/11. where
It's
it
a little
plays,
late.
so-
Yeah, it's probably.
Of
All
course,
right.
it would be 9/11 if I talked about it. So, all right.
All right. On that note, very bad note, we will
Bad
go
notes.
and we will see you next week for a double feature of
Double
how you
feature.
train your dragon to play Mario Kart
After training day.
after training day. That's right, exactly. Super Mario Brothers, not the Bob Hoskins movie. And how you train your dragon. We'll see you back here next week. All right.
Oh.
Good night. Good night.